So I think this is where most churches fail people. It really, really does. And what I'm about to say is not easy to say, but I think I need to say it for everybody on this call. And that is, the prize is not marriage. And the prize is not kids. It's just not. Our culture have made us think that it is, but it's not. So the reason I tell you that up front is because once you believe that that's the ultimate prize, then the enemy can now play with your heart, create doubt for God. It's the same thing like the Garden of Eden. Hey, there's the one thing God says you can't have, and yet still we focus on the one thing the whole time. It's the same trap that the enemy uses. And we have to realize that literally our satisfaction must be in God. And I know I say this all the time, and you must be, here he goes again. But if you don't reinforce that, then we're going to believe a lie of the enemy. And we cannot afford any longer to believe a lie of the enemy. I, with Jesus, can be completely satisfied. Okay. No, I'm going to get to what I think you should do, but I don't want to undermine the fact that our job should be to be satisfied in God and not give the devil any room in our hearts or minds to therefore create doubt about God or doubt about his goodness in our lives. Does that make sense, everybody? This is a big point. It really, really is a big point. We can never allow the enemy to let us create doubt about God or doubt about his goodness, the character of God or the goodness of God. And once we labor in a particular area, ultimately where we're going to lead to is, how can a good God not give me what I want and then you're going to use the Bible when he says children are a blessing from God, when he says it's not good for a man to be alone, then how can he allow all of this to happen? Now, they don't take into consideration the context of it's not good for man to be alone. The context of that was a perfect environment. But since that perfect environment was broken by sin, there's now something that trumps that perfect environment, which is us bringing people back to God. But nobody wants to talk about that because that now is more important, than even you pursuing a mate. And I'm not saying it's wrong to pursue that, but I'm saying the fact that the redemption of the world is more important. Why do I know that? Because God sent his only son to die so that we can connect with God. So that now, since Genesis chapter 3, when the fall happens, is now more important than you just having a kid or you getting married or anything else. Therefore, I say all of that to say, I just don't want anybody anymore being convinced that God owes you something. He's given you life, and we should be grateful for the rest of our lives. Now, once that's settled and clear and is the foundation, now I want to say, but there's nothing wrong with praying and asking God to give you the desires of your heart. There's nothing wrong with that. But make sure it's God's desires and make sure that his priorities for you supersede your desires for a mate.